Hey guys, it's Kathy. I hope you're doing well. Whew. Saturday was long with courts because I had all these saved up. I had to sort through them. I'm not even close to sorting through them all. But I did pick out some clips for today that'll make Sunday go a little easier, right? Right. And then, we haven't had Fleischer for so long. Of course, we're going to do Fleischer today. We have to. The hat. Where's the hat? Oh, a cowboy hat for tonight. His voice was great, and he's so freaking nice. He comes in for open mic all the time, and he's so nice. But no one came. No one came to Big Dog tonight. It was Saturday night. There were 4 servers on. We each made $20. But I got beer, so, you know, beer is always worth it for me. All right, let's start with a little crazy-ish. She's not certifiable, maybe. Just buckle up. Here we go.
He has a gun safe with like fully automatics, semi-automatics, whatever it is. And basically he's mad because his grandson, I put his grandson in jail, and he's done with me. He's done with the basically, he didn't want his grandson to go to jail. So what he did is I actually have the videos, like I showed the other court. Sorry. But I showed the officer the videos and everything, and they took that into that court. So that's in Franklin Municipal Court, where I got pounded over. So anyways, the grandpa basically is in the enabler who takes them to get drugs, who hides it out, who hides the gun. So anyways, the automatic that CJ was shooting that day at me and my family, besides the text message that he sent on this same day, this is the day he had court. So I would say, actually, it was before this, because I showed up to court. When I showed up to court for my subpoena is when he tried to file an eviction against me and my family because I showed up to court on CJ. Of course, I'm going to show up to court.
So something happened between yourself and CJ on July 2nd?
The day he got arrested. I mean, you guys, I don't know.
I don't have access to that information.
Okay,
this is a civil case.
Hi, Sarah Ann.
I'll tell you what day he got arrested. It was like he's in jail right now. Yeah, this is the day it actually happened. Actually, I can probably also look at all my photos and see it timestamps it on my phone, how it's, but I'll do it this way through the jail website. And I'm sorry, I don't really have full bars in here. It's not really
okay, so is it approximately July 2nd? Or are we talking about June?
This is when yes. Well, this is when it was filed. So this is when his court date was. So he was arrested prior to that, obviously. So it was either a week or two before. I just want to give you I don't want to give you. It was in June he got arrested, but his court date was in July. His first court date.
Okay, so sometime in June, CJ sent you a text message.
CJ sent the grandpa a text message for us.
Okay, saying, and what did that text message say?
So what I did is I asked Roger for his phone, and he gave me everything that was on his phone. Said, "You better tell your whore," talking about Danielle, his granddaughter, and that's a different case. I'll tell you about that. Her whore, which is me, they beat on the door again, as in knocking on our door, or anything, or running their mouth. Do you want me to read it as
yes,
I said it?
As it's written.
Fuck them up, fucked them both up bad, and her mom and grandmother. I'm dead ass too, and they're lucky. The N-word was just here with the heat, talking about the gun. Well, this guy happened to be here when he got arrested too.
Okay, so that text message is sent to Grandpa. He shows it to you.
Yes.
Then what happens between you and CJ? Does he pull a gun on you?
I called the cops.
Okay, based on the text message.
Yes.
Okay. When was there any other altercation between you and CJ?
Yes, it's been going on for a while. It's because I work 2 jobs and go to school also. So, and it's affecting I work. I've been wrote up. Haven't had to miss work because of it. But yes, he's threatened me because Amelia basically is telling him basically not to talk to me or associate with me because I've known him basically before. She's 40 something years old and has 5 kids, and she decides to stay at this place to get high and sell drugs from a trap out of, instead of being home with her children, who she should, and her daughter.
Well, let's stay on track with CJ first. Okay. And talk about that. So that happened sometime in June.
Yes.
That he sent that text message.
Yes.
Are there any other altercations that you want to tell me about between you and CJ?
Yes. There's multiple, but I'll just say, for instance, the gun he had. I have the video. If you want to see that.
So let's first start with, what day are we talking about?
Same day. The day prior to this text message, I'd say.
The day before he texted Grandpa.
Okay, he sent this text message. The cops were called. I didn't tell him I was calling the cops, right? He was out there shooting Grandpa's automatic gun, right? So no, I didn't tell nobody I was calling the cops. I told my mom and Grandma, because my mom and Grandma were shaking. They didn't know. So I was like, Mom, I'm calling them. I'm calling them, telling them. But we're in the township. We're at Bertha Drive, so it's different there. They said the township rules are different. And it's crazy because I know Warren County's on their stuff, and I know this from personal experience. I just don't they get away with doing drugs and selling drugs, and their grandpa doing this. But anyways, so prior to, so this text was sent, and then after that, well, he's always been shooting the guns. I've asked him multiple times to stop shooting the guns, and then one thing he said to me,
the judge,
I said, please don't shoot those guns tonight late. And he said, I'm only going to shoot some dogs, talking about my dogs. He said, I mean raccoons. That's what he said. That's what he said. That's a different instance. That's one thing. But then, in the video, he threatened my family, threatened me in the video. He even said, yes, absolutely.
Okay, so what day is the video on? The same day the text message was sent?
It might be the day before.
Okay, and in the video, what happens?
He tries to hide the gun. You want me to show you?
Well, is he threatening you? Is he pointing it at you? Is he shooting at you? Just tell me what happened.
Yes, he was, and then he's trying to hide it because he's like, it's a BB gun. But no, it was semi-automatic that it was registered to his grandfather, who 10 minutes after he got arrested, his grandfather pulled up, and Amelia, the girlfriend, walked out, wiped the gun off. I watched it, walked out, and gave it to the grandpa, and the grandpa drove off with it.
Okay, but tell me about CJ pointing the gun at you.
Yes, he pointed it at me, shot it in the field, bam, 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 bam. I said, hey, shoot the gun again. I dare you. He turned around with him and the N-word, the guy he was with, talking about the heat from the day before when he left.
Okay.
Right? And then bam, 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 but he missed. He didn't shoot. I guess I don't know. But
this is the day before he said, sent the text message.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But yes.
And were cops called that day?
Yes. They've been called every day.
And he was not arrested at that point?
No. Most of the.
Okay.
No one's been arrested.
So then the next day he sent a text message to Grandpa threatening you, and you called the cops again?
Yes.
And was he arrested that day?
Yes, because so they had multiple guns. So anyways, the black guy was there, right? Again, as he said, my dude just left with the heat. I'm not going to say that word. I don't like that word. I'm sorry. But he left the guy left with, because his baby mom has a gun registered to her, but that's just like a handgun. Well, still, CJ's still a felon. And they told me that as long as
CJ's a felon?
shoot it, as long as you don't have a violent crime. I didn't think that was true. I didn't know that was true, but that's what the prosecutor told me in Franklin. He said that that's why I didn't get bound over to here, because he got charged with weapons and a disability and a menacing. That's what he has court today for. That's why Franklin Municipal, the victims advocate, told me to come here right away and take care of this for both of them, because in case he were to get out today, the same thing is going to happen. And that's why.
Okay, so this happened sometime in June. He's arrested for some gun-related charges, and he's been in jail since that time.
Yes. And
Okay.
since then, his girlfriend has still been doing the same stuff.
Okay, so is this all of your testimony as to CJ?
Yes, sure.
Okay, so as to CJ's case, it seems like there were two instances, one where he shot at you and one where he made threats to harm you.
Absolutely.
Based upon those two instances, I'm going to grant the temporary emergency protection order today. That means that he is going to get an order that he has to stay 500 feet away from you. He's not allowed to have any contact with you.
Can it be any more than 500 feet? Because the house, we have a laundry room. Like, I don't want him coming to the house and thinking we share a laundry, like it's 500 feet. We have a
500 feet is typically larger than the size of a house.
Okay, but we live on land. That's the thing of the township. That's why everybody's shooting their guns in their private property and everything. We can't make it any more than 500 feet.
I'm not going to make it more than 500 feet. That's the standard for these orders.
That's fine.
Who owns the property that you all are staying at?
Roger King.
Does CJ pay rent there? Do you pay rent there?
No.
Okay.
The reason
the order
that he's there is because he stole his mom's gun, who works at the prison, and he can't stay at his mom's house because his mom will lose his job because he stole his mom's gun.
I'm going to order that he is not allowed at your residence. So that will include the house that you are currently staying at.
Okay.
So he's not allowed to be there. He's not allowed to have contact with you. And then he's also not allowed to be within 500 feet from you. Okay? So that's going to be the first order.
Okay.
Because
Hi,
in
Chuck.
this order, we have to set these cases for a hearing in the next 10 to 14 days.
Okay.
At that hearing, you need to present evidence to prove what you have told me today.
Yeah, I have it on my phone.
So you need to have your testimony, the testimony of any witnesses that were present at the time, any exhibits that you have, they need to be ready to go at that hearing.
Okay, because my grandmother and my mom were going to come with me today, but here's the thing: we don't. For one, Amelia's there, and when we're not there, she likes to go over to like my room and our kitchen and steal stuff from over there. We've caught her red-handed doing it over and over and over again. That's another thing. Like, we can't leave that. Someone has to always be at the house. Like, that's another thing. But my grandmother they're all victims in this case. For CJ's case, it's really CJ and Amelia together, but Amelia didn't go to jail because she was basically hiding it out for him. Like, when he got arrested, he didn't have she hid the meth for him. She hid the gun. They only found the handgun that some white guy put in a car, and I told them, I just watched it, and that's exactly where they found the gun, which was the handgun, which is registered to the N-word, the guy, his friend that left with the heat. Well, he had a handgun, and it was in a car that they tried to hide out because they knew, obviously, the cops were there, on their way, because I wasn't playing, but yeah. And then he got in the car and said he's been up for 3 weeks, he sells drugs. He told the officer this, like the officer told me this, but I'm just confused on why, like how it was dropped and not bounded over when he's a felon, has stolen his mom's gun, and she works at Lebanon Correction.
Well, I can't explain that to you. I can't give you legal advice, and that's not really relevant to this case.
Okay. No,
this is a civil case.
Okay.
You are basically the plaintiff in a civil case. You are going to prosecute this case. Okay. You have to prove everything to the court. We don't have the ability to look up people's criminal records, to go through, the Warren County jail information. If you want that information told to the court at that full hearing, you need to bring it.
Okay.
You also need to bring any exhibits that you have in a form that the court can keep.
Okay.
So the video that's on your phone, if you want to play that, it needs to be on a flash drive that the court can keep and hold as evidence
Okay.
for future proceedings.
Okay. How do I put on a flash drive?
I can't explain
I'll figure it out.
all those details. I don't know.
I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I just want you to be prepared. If you have any witnesses that you're going to have come
Yeah, my whole
testify,
family.
you need to have questions ready to ask them to elicit the testimony you want them to tell the court. The court is not going to be the one questioning the witnesses. It's your case to prove.
Okay.
If
I
Mr.
agree.
Osner wants to be present, he has the opportunity to be here, and
Even
he
if
has
he's
the
in
right
court,
to
too.
cross-examine any of the witnesses that you bring in, including yourself.
Right.
If he chooses to testify, you have the right to cross-examine him. So be prepared for that option.
Okay.
We often recommend that people seek legal counsel and advice because we will require you to comply with the rules of evidence and
Yeah,
the
she
rules of
told me
civil
Thursday.
procedure.
I
Okay.
go to the juvenile court Thursday and do that. She did give me that. Someone do that on Thursday.
Well, when I say seek legal advice, I mean speak to an attorney and potentially hire an attorney for this.
Yeah. She told me the attorney that to talk to was on Thursdays at juvenile court to at least a consultation. She
Well,
said
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what you mean by that. I mean, usually the attorneys
8
aren't
to
at
12 on
juvenile
Thursdays,
court.
juvenile court, free legal advice.
Okay. I don't know.
That's a lady from us for me.
I don't know the details of that. We usually don't offer free legal advice through the court systems, but if there's somebody that you're going to talk to, that's fine.
Okay.
I just want you to be prepared for what might happen at the hearing and what you need to present.
That's fine. So, okay. Yes.
Do you have any questions for me based on
Not-
this first case?
No.
Okay. So I need to get a physical description of Mr. Osner from you for the purpose of serving him. He's male. What is his race?
What?
What is his height?
Let me tell you everything. I'll tell you right now. Everything that they booked him in as, his weight and everything.
She's pulling up his criminal record to get this information.
He's white. I think it says 5'5", maybe.
Okay. What's his approximate weight?
He skin and bones, but like one. See what it says on here. What he says on here exactly, because I don't.
Trey
give
Fitty.
any false information. Like
These just can be approximations.
Okay. It's Charles Levon Osner. And okay. He was arrested on 6/23/2024, 4:35 a.m. was his booking date. Let's see, it says it's for aggravated menacing and having weapons under disability. Do you want me to show you the picture, what he looks like or anything?
No, I just need you to testify if there's details about
he's,
him.
it says all unknown.
Okay, so do you know a ballpark weight or are you not sure?
Like 100 pounds maybe.
Okay.
He's-
Do you know his eye color?
I think blue.
Okay. Do you know his hair color?
Like blonde.
Blonde. Okay. And is there any birth date listed?
What is it? It's 95 of, I think it's August, or no, it's he just had one.
And it's okay if you don't know.
I don't know his birthday off the top of my head, but I know it's 95 and he just had a birthday over the summer a couple months ago.
Okay. All right. So we will get that petition working on, or the order working on his case.
Yeah, because I have a subpoena to be at his court date today, actually at 1 o'clock.
Okay. Ms. Weigel, what hearing date do we have for this case?
Is there one a little bit after that available, like a week after that, maybe, or even a couple days after that?
So we can't go more than 14 days out.
Okay.
The statute requires these hearings to be held within 10 to 14 days.
Okay, can we do it before that then maybe?
No, you won't. Nobody knows.
Basically, the first or the third, I had a camping trip planned. But let me look at my schedule. Be sure. Because I'll call for this, but
Nailed it.
I have an office meeting at 12:30 in Milford. Do you think we can get this taken care of?
We usually schedule these cases for an hour. So that would be from 10 to 11.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
All right. So we'll do July 31st at 10 a.m. for Mr. Oshner's case. Now let's talk about Amelia's case.
Okay.
So you know her through the same way. She's dating Mr. Oshner, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what has she done that has been a pattern of conduct to cause you to suffer physical harm or mental distress?
Well, she's still using the guns. She's still basically she thinks the whole thing was they were trying to evict me basically because me and my family, because CJ can't come to that residence and he can't go to his mom's house because of that gun thing. So basically she's there because she just got here out of the money program, and since she's been there, she is so basically, okay, for an instance, like she got in my face, was threatening me, calling me names, arguing over CJ, calling me names because I'm gay actually, and I was there, like I said, for the granddaughter, and she started calling me names like a slut and a tramp and stuff like that. I never could call those names in my life actually, and she was mad because her boyfriend got arrested, and then after that I'll be looking out the window and she has drug deals all the time, pulling up to pick her up to go take her back and forth, and then they go as far as smoking this pipe thing. It's like it's white, it's clear. I don't know exactly because I've never messed with that neck of the woods, but it's methamphetamine. That's all I can basically tell you. And it's they smoke it, and the officer told me that they were allowed to smoke it on their property. I'm like, that's just crazy to me, but okay. But
well, the whether there's illicit drug use or not, the issue here is whether she has engaged in a pattern of conduct to cause you to suffer physical harm or mental distress.
So
tell me about the things that she said, when those things occurred, etc.
That, and then anytime I leave the house, she comes over, she goes in, she tries to take anything off out of our rooms or our kitchen or anything so she can have basically, because she basically is trying to use CJ's grandpa basically as like her I don't know, like a place to stay and do what she wants, her own apartment, her own free room thing, instead of being at home with her kids who don't like CJ or the drugs, so they don't. That's why. So she chose to be here. But anyways, so during all this, the reason why I want this against her too is because the same stuff's going on. We're still going at it. She's still in the house, still doing the same stuff, still saying threats, doing the same threats, doing the same drug stuff.
So what are the threats?
Okay, basically that under her breath, CJ don't get out, blah, blah, blah. Like,
what is blah, 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 blah?
She says it under her breath.
So you don't know what she's threatening?
Basically, she's trying to like blackmail me, basically. Like, what do you mean? Like, and then she's, I was talking to my mom one day and she called the cops. And because she was, I guess she boarded up like the laundry room door, so she couldn't get to the laundry room for some reason, and boarded up like the other side of the door. It's weird, I don't know. And she called the cops saying that she was having like a panic attack and she was scared for her safety, blah, blah, whatever. But it's because she overheard me and my mom talking about that I'm gonna tell them that I'm telling the truth. Like, I'm putting it out there. It's not right what's right's right, what's wrong is wrong. But what I'm saying is the same stuff is happening even though he's not there.
And I'm asking, what is the same stuff?
Okay.
I need to hear if she has specifically threatened you with physical harm.
Okay, so, I can't say she exactly said she's gonna kill me, but,
But what has she said?
my boyfriend's still in jail, and you went to court on him, so good luck finding a place to live, basically like that. So.
Okay, and this has all happened since he was arrested in June?
Yes. So, and then I get this eviction, and then when I'm not there, she has the traffic there company. My mom calls me and tells me, and then when they don't, then I told them, they're like, because the grandpa asked me, when are you coming? When will you be home? And I won't tell him because I know he's trying to make a gap time for her to be able to do what she can do, or he'll take her to go do what she needs to do because he's part of it also, but that's a different story.
So what is the eviction that you're talking about?
So basically, because I showed up at court for CJ Charles Oshner, he got mad because I showed up at court on my subpoena. And he wanted me to stay out of it and let CJ come home after he was up for 3 weeks and just try to kill me and my family and the threats.
Okay, so who was mad at you?
Roger King.
So he is evicting you from the property.
But she's trying.
She's trying to, basically.
Trying
and that's
so
when
hard.
He did this notice and we went to court over it. So and it's still going on. And then I went to talk to the prosecutor and they told me that I needed to come here and go to actually this court and go through here for Amelia and CJ for that. But
Okay.
But yeah, that's
Well, based upon your testimony, I don't think there are sufficient grounds to grant the protection order as to Amelia. It doesn't sound like she's made any explicit threats of harm to you to warrant a temporary emergency protection order. So you have two choices. We can set this for the full hearing, and at that time, you'd need to prove that she has engaged in a pattern of conduct against you, or you can withdraw the petition and refile it at a later date if necessary.
Yeah, okay, let me withdraw that one, and then when I come, I'm gonna come again. I'm gonna bring my grandmother for this other one with her because I'll be able to explain it better than me. Basically.
Well, just as an FYI, if you withdraw it, which you absolutely have the right to, and you want to come back and refile it, which you have the right to, it would still be the same setting as this. We wouldn't take testimony from anyone else. It would just be you explaining what pattern of conduct has occurred and what has she done.
Right.
Now, if you want to set it for a full hearing, I can set it at the same time as CJ's case, and you can present witnesses at that time.
Yeah, we can. Basically, I'm living there and I can't go to sleep. I'm late for work. I've been wrote up twice because they're up all night doing these drug deals with flashlights. The dogs are barking. My dogs are barking. That's how I know what's going on. And then I walk out there and there's people out there with, I'm not meaning to, no, I don't judge people. I mean, people get older, they lose their teeth, but I'm tired of looking at people with bubbles and those things. And well, I have to get up at 3 a.m. to go scan inventory, and they don't do job. They don't have a job. They just trap out of his house. And then basically he's 90-something years old himself.
I don't understand anything she said, but I want to know what that meant. I'm tired of looking at people with bubbles. What does that mean? Please, someone tell me. I just want to know that one little piece of everything she said. Bubbles. I'm tired of looking at people with bubbles.
One leg, and he uses that to get whatever he can, whatever, and basically play victim. And the township agrees with them basically, kind of, because they feel bad for him. And the cops tell me, we know this has been going on for years. He's been here for 40 years, every day almost, and nothing's. It's like we know we just got to catch him in the act. Well,
this case is not going to be about Mr. Clark. Mr. King. This case is not about that. This is just going to be about Amelia.
So
and
what do you think I should do? Because my grandmother was supposed to come with me today to do this also with me, but she's 80 years old and it was hard. She doesn't have a wheelchair.
I can't give you legal advice on how to proceed. It is your choice. I will just reiterate that these are So these hearings right now are called ex parte hearings. That means that one side is present, the other side is not present. All I would do at that next hearing, if you were to withdraw the petition and refile, is once again take your testimony as to Amelia and determine whether or not you are in immediate and present physical danger from her. I've decided today that you have not proven that, and you have the right to withdraw the petition and file it again at a later date if you feel necessary, or you can have this set for a full hearing. At that full hearing, you can present evidence and witnesses and prove to the court by a preponderance of the evidence that she has engaged in a pattern of conduct to cause you to suffer physical harm or mental distress.
Okay, that I'll go with that. I will just set it. I'll just file it.
You want to set it for a full hearing?
Yes.
Okay, so I will set this at the same time we set CJ's case, which will be July 31st at 10 a.m. So we'll basically handle them together and proceed from there as to whether you can prove either case against either individual, okay?
Okay, so, but she's still at my address right now.
She will get served with your petition. She has a right to be at that address, it sounds like. So she's going to remain there. I'm not removing anyone from that address. Okay? All right. So we will put an order down setting that case for July 31st, 2024 at 10 a.m. And then we will also have the order.
How does she get notified? Because as soon as she gets notified, I already know the grandpa's going to do some other stupid stuff. I already know.
Well, both her and CJ will receive your petitions, and they will receive, CJ will receive my order keeping him away from you.
Yeah, he's in jail, so
and I will send it to the jail right now because that's where he's currently located. He will be served by law enforcement. We will serve Amelia by certified mail and personal service. Make sure she gets a copy of your petition and my order setting the case for a hearing. And if you don't want to do that, you can withdraw her petition if you don't want to do that. But it sounds to me like there's something going on with this home and who's living there and who has the right to live there. I don't know those
That
details.
makes sense.
We're moving out anyways, but
Okay.
I'm just like, for my next sake, for the next few weeks,
Mhm.
I have to work. I got to work my ass off to get in this apartment.
Okay.
And so does my mom. And that's the thing. I'm losing sleep. That's it. Like, that's the thing. It's hard when you got someone that stays up for 3 weeks and is doing like, thinking stuff's going on, hearing noises, like thinking people are out, like.
Well, I'm not going to kick anyone out of the home.
I know, but
because it's not your house and it's not their house.
Right.
So I'm not going to do that. But if you don't want to move forward on Amelia's petition, we can withdraw it if that's what you're saying.
Well, what I want to do is I want to get like what I have for CJ. I didn't do for her basically because I just figured that it was one case kind of. So I want to get basically my evidence against her because I don't really have like pictures or anything like that, but I can.
Okay, so are you saying you want that full hearing in order to
not
bring that evidence?
Bubbles.
Or you want to
No.
withdraw it and attempt to refile at a later time?
I think I should do it that way.
Okay, so I will dismiss your case against Amelia.
That's way she doesn't know. and
She
the
will not know that
grandpa
the case was
doesn't
filed.
try to do anything else right now, and then I will gather this together, and by the time of this court date, I'll either have me and my grandmother and my family up here with evidence, or I'll file another petition, you know what I mean, or file, you know what I mean?
Okay,
Is that okay with you, ma'am?
it's your case.
Okay.
It's totally fine. It's how you want to proceed. Okay, so I will withdraw your petition against Amelia. We will not proceed forward with a hearing on that case unless you refile. And then with Mr. Oshner, we will proceed on July 31st at 10 a.m. with a hearing on that case.
Okay.
Okay. So if you want to have a seat out in the hallway, we will get everything finalized and we will get you a copy of the documents before you leave today.
Okay. She's standing up. The judge made her order. You think we're done, right? No. Now she goes crazy. Now she doesn't go crazy. There's no screaming, yelling. She just gets more crazy.
Okay, and then can I also say one more thing to you?
Yeah. Do it.
So this is kind of out there. I know it's crazy. So basically, Roger King, he's the owner of this house. So basically, he has been he's paying off the ones that are still around, including Danielle. CJ actually is one of them when he was younger. He had a bank account for all of them. Basically, he's being paid off. Basically, the sister Danielle Gray, sister, they're from California, and he took their family in basically, and that's why I got involved, because Danielle was there, but that's where she was for a minute until we got into our apartment. Well, anyways, his sister, and then did the same stuff to 6 other grandkids, and a couple of them have passed away now. That I don't know how to go about that, but the mom said that, and the daughter said that she will fly from California to testify against him. What do I do with that? Because that's
if you're seeking to start a criminal investigation
Yes,
into that,
absolutely.
you can contact the local law enforcement, or you can speak to the prosecutor's office in an attempt to do that, but that will not be involved in this case.
Right. Okay, so the prosecutor here, because the prosecutor in Franklin Court doesn't just tells me everyone can shoot guns and do meth at their house.
Well, it depends on where the crimes allegedly took place.
Yeah, it's a township, and I was like, what kind of hell? What's in this Warren County? I thought Warren County. Everybody knows Warren County's on their shit. Like,
well, if the alleged crimes took place in Warren County, then you could speak to the prosecutor's office here if you want to report a crime.
Okay, cool. Yes, it did. It's just Franklin Township. Even I'm saying it's a township that they're in, but it's Warren County. So every
Sure,
time,
I understand
every time
that.
I call the cops, the wrong people come out and they can't do anything because it's a township. So they have to wait for. They have time to hide everything. It's crazy. It's basically they got it set to where they can basically get away with anything because the grandpa has one leg. He can hide everything out, and he can have automatics and whatever because he's in the war. But
okay. Well, if you want to have a seat, we'll get you that paperwork as soon as we can.
okay, thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too.
Yeah, if you want to just have a seat, Miss Weigel will bring you a copy.
I had to mute part of it because her crazy shouldn't have to touch our ears. No. So, okay, in case you didn't understand, which it was crystal clear, she was getting a TPO out against CJ, who may or may not be the grandfather. I'm sure it's the grandfather of her girlfriend, the granddaughter. And the other girl, she wants Andrea or Eileen. It doesn't matter. She is getting a TPO against her, even though she's never really threatened her. And they're evicting her, but none of them own the property. And they're not like, I don't think they're like houses on the property. I think they're like structures on the property. Maybe. Because like there was no, the way she described it, anyway, that's exactly what happened. And then she wants criminal charges against the grandfather. So, hi Cricket. I don't know if Judge Oda, who is not here today, and this poor pro tem judge had to take care of this because Judge Oda was not here today, or yesterday. But I think he was. I mean, I think he was there for the morning and then left, and now she got this. Maybe we're talking about a cult compound. That would make sense. Yeah, dogs barking. Yeah, they could be trailers. I don't know. Andrea, I don't know what's happening. I don't understand because there was just a lot of words that made no sense at all. She would start a sentence and not finish it and go this way and not finish it and go this way, and the thoughts never finished. Pedophile. That's the second part. Banjos, maybe. Maybe there's banjos. There's definitely lots of guns and meth. Definitely. Okay. Let's go to Mr. Uzel or Uzzle. Uzzle? Mr. Uzzle? Here we go.
Just because I was afraid we were ready. That's very. Yeah, maybe. I thought he was paying attention.
She's holding up a sign that says check your audio.
You need to unmute, please.
How's that?
Good morning. And you are Landry, is it Uzel or Uzzle?
Uzzle.
Thank you. Mr. Uzzle, we are on the record in case number 24-1248SM. You are appearing for arraignment purposes on an allegation of a probation violation. You're appearing with Ms. Mistely, the defense attorney available through the indigent defense counsel who will be assisting you with the arraignment. She's not yet had an opportunity to speak with you. So I'm going to ask to place you and Ms. Mistely in a breakout room so that she can go over the issues regarding the arraignment before we begin, okay?
So I don't know what happened to Mr. Uzzle. I could hear and see him. He could not hear me. I heard a bunch of static. Then I couldn't, I had no video or audio with him.
Okay, well, hopefully he'll sign back on.
And did you already dispose of the foster? Recall that?
Yes, it was a first notice, so I did, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Hello?
Mr. Uzzle? Ms. Mistely indicated that she was unable to maintain contact with you, so we'll try once again to put you back.
I don't know why. I don't tell you.
I'm sorry?
Besides, I've taken care of all this stuff that this is all about anyways. So, not guilty. What else you want me to say when I can't hear you?
Okay, well, are you entering a plea and representing yourself without the assistance of Ms. Mistely regarding the probation violation?
Are you throwing a tantrum?
Mr. Uzzle? So Mr. Uzzle, I'll give you about 2 more minutes. And if you don't make your appearance here and you don't follow through, a bench warrant for your arrest will be issued. So if you'd like to sign back on, you're welcome to do that.
While we're waiting, so the Fleischer, Victoria, and Melissa, they were having a rough day. I think it was Thursday. I don't know. It's a long docket. You know what Fozzie did? Guys, do you know what Fozzie did? Fozzie sent court 5 pizzas. Did you know that? Fozzie sent court 5 pizzas, and they weren't able to get it on the stream because the pizzas came after the stream was over. But Fozzie sent them all pizzas. No, though, he didn't put any pineapple on. That's just rude. But it was so nice. Thank you, Fozzie.
Okay, so this is it. I'm not happy with the behavior so far.
Oh, I'm
If
sorry.
you're going to represent yourself, right, you hold on. You're going to represent yourself and you don't want Miss Mr. Lee to assist you, that's fine. You're welcome to waive her assistance. If you're going to plead not guilty, we'll schedule the hearing. In the meantime, is that what you wish to do?
No, I'm sorry. I couldn't figure out the volume. I couldn't hear any of you. And I'm yelling at the computer. I'm not trying to, I didn't know you could hear me. And I'm just like, get frustrated. So I apologize.
Yeah, I'm not sure that that's right. I'm not sure that that's the truth. Do you wish to speak with Miss Mr. Lee?
Yes, please.
He could not hear me again, and I tried to hold one of my notes up, and it was all blurry. I don't know. I was going to ask him to, to call me.
Yeah.
Because the number I have, it doesn't work.
Okay, now I can hear you.
Okay, well, we're not going to continue this back and forth for much longer. If you'd like to call Miss Mr. Lee, she can give you her phone number. You can call her and then you'll just call back in rather than trying to use a computer or however it is that you're appearing this morning. But I'll give you, again, about 5 minutes. So you'll need to make sure that you can complete this within that time. Miss Mr. Lee, would you give Mr. Uzzle your phone number?
It's 231-944-3996.
Okay, I'll call you right away.
Thank you.
I left a little bit in. So you can see how much she's talking. I thought when she called him that she was just going to hear. Rah, 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 rah. She spoke almost the whole time.
Yes.
While we're waiting, I can update the phone number that he just called from, Your Honor.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So we are back on the record in case number 24-1248SM. And Ms. Mistally, you had an opportunity to have conversation with
Is audio working?
Yes.
Not for me again.
How is it that he wishes to proceed?
He wishes to enter a plea of not guilty and requests the assignment of counsel.
I'm gonna try it. I gotta try to reset it again.
Just call in on your phone.
Can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
There we go. Now I do.
So I understand that you wish to enter a plea of not guilty and request a hearing, and you're going to request a court-appointed attorney. Please raise your right hand. You swear that the information you're about to give me will be the truth to the best of your knowledge.
I do.
Thank you, and you're welcome to lower your hand. Mr. Fuzzle, what is your phone number?
Currently, it is not working.
Okay. So what is the phone number that's working?
I use my work phone or the tea house phone that I live at. But email right now. Mainly.
What is the work phone?
7267. I might have to give you that back correct though.
What was the
Okay,
number?
so this is information. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
One second. I'll get you the number.
The one you just called me from? What is that number for?
That's my tea house number.
Okay, so I've already provided that to the magistrate.
Okay, that'll good. Thank you.
So this is information that goes to your court-appointed attorney. So you want to make sure that your attorney is able to make contact with you. What is your mailing address?
Yummy. It's very yummy.
Street or 873.
Do you have an email address?
.32@gmail.
Are you currently employed?
Yes, I am.
Where?
Bootleggers.
What is your average take-home pay?
About 700 a week.
Do you receive any other sort of assistance or income?
Some food stamps.
He didn't know
Do
his
you own a
address.
vehicle?
No.
Do you have any money in a checking account or savings account? Any cash on hand?
Some cash on hand.
About how much?
$300.
So we'll appoint an attorney for you. Between now and the time of the hearing, I'm going to place you on a $5,000 personal recognizance bond with all of the same terms and conditions that currently exist on your orders of probation. So whatever you are required to do for probation, you are also required to do as a condition of your bond. You should hear from your court-appointed attorney by the end of next week, so please watch for contact from your attorney.
I called
Ms.
dibs.
Mistley, do you have anything further?
I do not. Thank you.
Mr. Russell, do you have any questions?
No, I don't.
Thank you for your appearance this morning, and you are free to leave the meeting.
I apologize for the sound problems and being disrespectful.
Thank you.
Good luck.
You are all set.
I was muted. At least he apologized at the end. No, he has anger issues. Okay. Guys, don't do this. What you're about to see, don't do this.
Hearing on ILC. Does the state have an objection to ILC?
Your Honor, he is an eligible offender. I have spoken with the victim representative from Luxottica. They are not necessarily in agreement with ILC. They don't believe that that is an appropriate resolution for this case, so I will put that on the record on their behalf. The state does have concern with the large restitution that will be ordered. We don't have an agreement on that figure today, but I think even from the defendant's perspective, we're probably at $15,000 to $20,000. Luxottica is requesting over $100,000 in restitution. And so I don't believe that is really an amount that is appropriate for ILC, but he is an eligible offender, so I'll leave it at that.
So if Mr. Perez were placed on ILC, one of the conditions would be to pay restitution. If he pleads guilty and admits he committed this offense, he would have to pay restitution. I guess my question would be, is that something that's possible for him?
Yes, Your Honor. I mean, just speaking with my client, he has no prior criminal record, criminal history. He is very motivated to obviously make the situation right. This is a situation, I know there is a large number as far as restitution. This was a situation where my client worked for Luxottica, and he was able to give out like rebates for people to be able to purchase their items. So
That's so sad.
I believe as we went through the list, that they just took a list from any rebates that he gave back to anyone over this period of time in order to get this number. When we went through that, the number was substantially less. It's only about 15,000. So we would like to at least address that issue
Ohio.
as far as restitution. Hopefully it's a reasonable number, and maybe the representative from Luxottica, after the prosecutor meets, will have a reasonable number where he can be able to pay it off within a couple of years, Your Honor.
Is the representative here?
He is not here. I have had a phone conversation with him when this was after the motion for ILC was filed and he was notified of the hearing date. I did encourage him to be here to voice his concern, but obviously I can do that on his behalf. I have spoken with them.
Can you tell, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but could you give me a description of what actually happened? I know
Yes.
he was an employee.
So he was an employee of Luxottica and had the ability to give, he worked in customer service and would have the ability to give a code for essentially free sunglasses. And the purpose of that code was if a disgruntled customer called in and the way to make it right was to give them a code that could be authorized. Mr. Perez was handing them out, for lack of a better word, like candy to his friends. He would text people, ask them if they wanted a code for free sunglasses. Some people took him up on that. Some people did not. There is an extensive spreadsheet prepared by Luxottica, and the amount they are requesting is over $100,000. These are obviously expensive sunglasses, and I believe he was giving out codes for brands that he was not authorized to have codes for, and then codes he was not authorized to give.
Okay. Sounds like it's going to require a restitution hearing.
Yes, and we spoke about that today, and I've asked Mr. Hamadullah to provide me with what he believes his client should be responsible for, so that when I sit down with Luxottica, I kind of have a frame of reference from where they're coming from and can either have a response to him or come up with a different number or explain better.
And yes, Your Honor, we did have that discussion, and that was included in the plea form as far as
I did put that in the order portion of the plea form that he is to pay restitution to Luxottica at an amount to be determined at a restitution hearing.
Does he have a diagnosis?
Your Honor, Talbot House diagnosed him with an alcohol use disorder.
Yeah, I see it now, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Other specified depressive disorder, anxiety disorder, and trauma and or stress-related disorder. Okay. Okay, it seems to me the best course of action is to hold a restitution hearing as a part of the ILC hearing, with the understanding that if it's apparent that he's not going to be able to make restitution in this case, then ILC just may not be an option, because he's supposed to complete ILC successfully. The only other option would be a trial, which I'm assuming for the moment he doesn't want, or plea. If it's a plea, then restitution would be required. At some point in time, though, if he's fully compliant, it may be a civil issue. So it's just several things to think about. This is not a case where somebody took $100,000 and maybe they've spent part of it and then can give the other part back. This is a case where he's gifting what now is going to be restitution, right?
That is correct, essentially, yes.
Okay.
So you just want to set it out to do an ILC and restitution hearing at the same
I
time?
think that makes sense.
Okay.
yes, Your
All
Honor.
right.
We agree. We're fine.
All right. Let me look at something else here. Did he test today?
Yes, sir.
How'd that turn out?
They said it was negative.
Okay. It's just not showing up on my, oh, I think I may have to reopen this. Okay. Just let's get a new date, Mr. Hamadullah.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Nicholson, how much time do you think we should set this out, since you've got to line up Luxottica?
I would ask for at least a month.
Okay, does that work for you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sir, if you're testing negative, you're doing what's asked of you, and just make sure you keep that up.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Thank
that's
you.
all right. Thank you.
He's got to pay $100,000. $100,000 he's going to have to pay. Whew. Whew. All right. Guys, we haven't had Fleischer for days. So here we go. His Friday docket.
Jacqueline Tamez. Ma'am, you're charged with criminal mischief. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present if you cannot afford one. One will be appointed to you, ma'am. Okay.
On October 6, 2023, officers were dispatched to a criminal mischief cell in Harris County, Texas. Officers made contact with a complaining witness who stated the defendant threw a brick at his residence's window, causing it to break. The damage to the window was approximately $300. Officers also spoke to the defendant's mother, who confirmed the defendant was present at the location during the time of the incident.
Okay. Marcos, who is this? Do you know?
I'm sorry?
The defendant,
Yes,
the
it
complaining
is.
witness, who is it?
Her mother owns a property, and there's a mobile home on that property, and it's the person who lives in the mobile home.
Okay.
So
Do they
I've already
own the
spoken
mobile
with
home
her.
or what?
Do you guys
Hang it
does your
out.
mother own the mobile home?
No.
No, so he owns a mobile home. Judge, this occurred back on October of last year, so that's why the cause number is a 248 cause number. I'm gonna talk to the states. My understanding in terms of the damage, that's been resolved. So we'll see what we can do to quickly resolve this case.
Oh, yeah, it's an old case. Okay.
Yes.
Ms. Thomas, I'm going to order you as a condition of your bond not to go back to this place and not to have contact with the complaining witness. Do you understand? Excuse me, also not to be in possession of any weapons. As long as you can abide by these conditions, you'll be fine. If I find that you violate this, start going over there or try to have contact with the complaining witness, I'll order your arrest, put you in jail. You will not get any more trial bonds. You have Marcos representing you. Listen to him. He will take care of you. I will waive your appearance momentarily while you guys try to work this thing out. But if you pick up a new case or start acting a fool in the free world, that's it. You understand, man? Okay. I'm going to have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. After that, I'll have you take a seat in the jury box. We'll get your bond conditions. We'll have you sign it, and then you'll be free to go, man.
Thank you, Judge. Have excuse?
Yes, sir.
Thanks, Judge.
Right this way. Page 1, Robinson, Roderick, come on up.
So can you guys, no contact, no weapons, no going?
Sorry about this.
Thanks. Victoria, who is this?
Page 1, Robinson.
Got it.
This is the beginning.
So how many times has this dude evaded us?
There were 2 PR bonds posted. This is the second one.
Yeah, I'm not done with him getting multiple PR bonds like that.
Hold on.
Case is 351 days old. You get PR bond after PR bond. I don't think so, Mr. Robinson. No, I will appoint you a lawyer today. He goes with you. Can you please appoint him someone and then we'll talk? But ma'am, don't send him down. Yeah.
Page 1, Applegate.
Don't send him down though. Yeah, thanks. Good morning, Mr. Applegate. Sir, you're charged with possession of marijuana. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present during questions and interviews with the state of Texas. If you cannot afford a lawyer will be appointed to represent you, sir.
On July 13th, 2024, officers conducting routine business checks due to burglaries because of lack of electricity because of Hurricane Beryl. Officers checked out on a suspicious male at a Goodwill that was closed at the time. The defendant was observed by the officers to be placing items in his vehicle. They made contact with the defendant and conducted a Terry frisk, which discovered 2.6 grams of marijuana. The defendant said he was picking up scrap metal from outside the location, and the defendant had a felony warrant for burglary of a building.
Okay, so this isn't, because I see that he's got an open burglary of a building. This is, don't say anything. I don't need your help.
It's unrelated. It's a separate transaction.
So I guess they didn't charge him with anything as far as their
Correct. The
concerned.
burglary of a building was April of last year. and he was on the warrant for that case at the time. He's posted bond.
So where was the weed? In his pocket?
Correct. In his pocket.
Can you tell me about the burglary of the building, please?
At 2023, 7110 Barker Cyclist Road. We responded to Rainforest Car Wash, spoke with the manager, said the defendant was a former employee, had broken into the business and stole vacuum and buffer. Victim said the defendant came back and asked for his job back. Manager showed business surveillance to the police of the defendant pulling up in his Lincoln Navigator, forcing his way into the business and taking the property.
Mr. Applegate, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or dope, I will put you in jail, and I'm going to make your bond extremely high. Do you understand? My sole purpose in life is to protect every single person and every single piece of property in Harris County. If I find that you act like a fool while you're out there in the free world, I will take it away from you in a heartbeat. Do you understand? I don't care what you're doing. I don't care where you're going. I don't care who you're with. You endanger my property. You endanger my public. I'm going to light you up. Do you understand? What do you do for a living?
I'm unemployed right now. Right now, I'm just doing cleanup, like cutting the trees down and everything like that because of the storms.
Do you have a full-time job? It's time for you to get a full-time job. You have way too much time on your hands and you are becoming self-destructive.
That's his job.
All you're doing is you're picking up more cases, doing stuff you shouldn't be doing. Do you understand? I will appoint you a lawyer today. I'm going to bring you back in 2 weeks and I want to see what you have done to get a full-time job. If you've done nothing, it's just not going to go well for you. Do you understand me?
Mr. Robinson.
I don't know if there's an application on file or not. Deeps is not working again. For now, I'm going to have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. After that, I'm going to have you take a seat at the jury box while I find you a lawyer. After that, you're going to meet with Tracy for your bond conditions. You are now on notice. I'm telling you, if you don't have anyone to pony up a $10,000 to $15,000 bond on you, you will be stuck like Chuck in jail until this case is over. Behave yourself. Do you understand? All right.
Judge, that was 2 weeks to get a job?
Yeah. Well, to see what he's done to get a job. Be back here in 2 weeks.
State's bond conditions?
No, with Tracy. Make sure that he's not using.
All right, next judge is page 3. Roscoe, come on up.
Tracy, I'd also like you to put on the bond conditions that he's not allowed back to where that Salvation Army was, or the Goodwill. Right. Well, no, not the felony one, just the one. Yeah. Is this Diaz Canales? No.
This is Roscoe on page 3.
Got it. Are you Raul Gabriel Frausto? Mr. Frausto, you're charged with possession of a controlled substance. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir. Okay.
On July 13th, 2024, officers were dispatched to Connie's kitchen in regards to a disturbance between a man and woman. The reporting party said a diner in a blue shirt threw a plate of food at his female companion. The security guard pointed out the defendant and it matched the description given. After an investigation, the defendant was placed in custody for a Class C assault, but found 0.1 grams of
Alprazolam. Xanax.
in a powdery form. in the pocket of the defendant.
Powder before.
Those are the things that is, no.
Mr. Frost, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. Do you understand? If you violate these conditions, I will put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds. So did he end up getting charged with a Class C assault or not? What do you do for a living, sir?
Actually, for the last 7 years, I worked for Sunbelt Rentals. So I gave material for the plant.
Are you still working full-time? Okay, we're going to reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. So I'm going to first have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. After that, you'll meet with Tracy for your bond conditions, and after that, you'll be free to go. Don't pick up any new cases. Don't violate conditions. And you know what happens. Okay.
Right this way. Next judge is page 4, Gonzalez Adam.
Of course, I asked the arresting cop to be here, and he wasn't here.
Okay, that's not now. That's later on after your lawyer and you have met and gotten all the evidence.
Go ahead and sign for your reset, please.
Adam Lucas Gonzalez. Mr. Gonzalez, you're charged with driving while your license is suspended. Put your arms down by your side. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you, sir. You have the right to have an attorney present during questions and interviews with the state of Texas. If you cannot afford a lawyer will be appointed to represent you, sir. Okay.
On July 14th, 2024, officers conducted a traffic stop on a vehicle with an inoperative brake light. The defendant was ID'd as the driver. Additionally, the car's registration had lapsed in 2020. The defendant advised he did not have insurance and that his license was invalid, and officers confirmed that.
Got it. Mr. Gonzalez, you do not have a license, do you?
It's not valid. I have a license, but it's not valid.
Then you are not allowed to drive. I am making that now with bond conditions, and I will have you sign a promise with me today that you're not to drive. I don't care what your excuse is, that you cannot justify getting in a car for any reason. If you do, you will be doing a substantial amount of time in jail. You understand? If you want to drive, go get a license and insurance, and then if you can do that, I will take this restriction off of you. But I find that you drive, you'll be facing a very, very heavy penalty. I'm going to have you come up here, swear to us that you're not going to drive. After that, I will get you to Victoria. We're going to have you sign a reset. We're going to get you out of here to hire a lawyer. Come on up.
Right, Judge. Next is page 5, Gonzalez Jennifer.
Jennifer Gonzalez. Ma'am, you're charged with driving while intoxicated, second offense. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, ma'am.
On July 11th, 2024, officers were dispatched to Dollar General in Harris County, Texas, in reference to a theft. Upon arrival, the store manager advised that a female wearing a black tank top and blue shorts attempted to steal melatonin and then left in a green Dodge Ram truck towards Walgreens. The manager wanted her trespassed. Officers located the green Dodge, and upon arrival, officers observed the vehicle parked, stationary, on and running, and the vehicle's keys in the ignition. Officers observed the female described and approached the vehicle and advised the female to exit the vehicle. While the female was exiting, officers observed her to be very disoriented, unsteady on her feet, and unable to keep her balance, displaying heavy slurred speech, leading to officers to believe she was intoxicated. They noticed an unlabeled clear orange bottle with different sized pills in the middle console under the radio and a change holder within plain view. The defendant was detained and PC search was conducted. The unlabeled pill bottle contained a total of 15 pills. 2 of them were oxycodone. 11 were clonazepam.
Clonopin?
Clonazepam.
Thank you. Sorry, Your Honor. And
Clonazepam, something like that. Okay, what
and
else?
2 of them were unable to be identified, but were believed to be MDMA. The defendant was Mirandized, and she stated she would not answer questions, or she advised she will answer questions, and that the pills were her friends. While speaking to the defendant, there was no odor of alcohol, but the officers observed heavy, droopy eyelids. The defendant appeared drowsy and drunk-like behavior and slow, sluggish reactions. Standard field sobriety test was conducted. 6 of 6 on the HGN. 1 like stand was a 2 of 4, and the defendant was unable to do the walk and turn due to knee pain. DIC was read. She consented to blood, and blood was drawn.
Ms. Gonzalez, do you have a Texas driver license?
No, sir. May I say something?
You may not. The only thing I'm going to tell you now are 2 very valuable things. Number 1, you are not allowed to drive. I don't care what on earth you are doing. I don't care if aliens abduct you and tell you that you have to drive somewhere. If you drive, I will have a contempt hearing. You'll be facing an additional 6 months in jail and a $500 fine because I will hold you in contempt, slap you with 180 days. And I'm going to tell you now, if you have a drug or alcohol problem, you better address it, because if you don't, I'm going to do it for you.
I don't, sir.
If I drug test you now, what's going to show up?
Whatever that is, because somebody, the friend I'm talking about,
I'm
drugged
not going
me.
to talk to you about the case.
Yeah, okay.
No one forces you to take anything. So if I drug test you right now, what's going to show up?
I have no idea what he gave me.
We're going to do it right now. Tracy, I'm sending you for a drug test right now. You must come back. If you do not, I will issue a warrant, and I'm going to make your bond $10,000. Do you understand? Before we leave here right now, I will have you sign this affidavit promising me you're not going to drive. I'm sending you for a drug test. You must come right back. I will appoint you a lawyer today, and we will speak about how to go further. As it stands now, no drugs, no alcohol. I'm going to test you like crazy, and I'm telling you, if I find that you're using, I will hold you in contempt, slap you with 180 days.
So I wasn't doing anything. I haven't in years, since the last time I got in trouble with problems.
I want to make sure going forth here, you are not using any pills, any alcohol, any marijuana, any cocaine, any meth, and I'm going to test you 2 times a week to make sure that you're not using. As it stands now, I want to know what is in your body, so I'm sending you for a drug test. You were to come back right afterwards. All right, come up here, swear to me that you're not going to drive. And then after that, we'll send you for a drug test. Up here. Hold on a second, we gotta wait for the clerk, so just stay right here and we'll wait.
Page 12, Renee, come on up.
Good morning, Your Honor. May I approach?
Hi, Mr. Fleming. Good morning, happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Oh, also, I forgot to tell you, because it's a second offense, I'm ordering you to put a scram device on your ankle to prove to me that you're not consuming alcohol. Okay, who do we have?
Eli Renee.
Page 12.
Good morning, Mr. Renee. Sir, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you, sir. Okay.
On July 6, 2024, officers conducted a traffic stop on a vehicle going 51 in a 35-mile-per-hour zone. The driver was ID'd as a defendant by his Florida driver's license. Upon contact, officers observed a strong odor of alcohol on the breath, red, glossy eyes, and slow speech. The defendant tried to not speak and initially said he did not drink, then said he had a little, then he said he had a shot at 3 p.m. Then he said he had one or two, but then said he only had one drink. He stated it was his birthday and he was going to 2727 Lounge, which is a bar. Standard field sobriety tests were conducted, 6 of 6 on the HGN, 4 of 8 on the walk and turn, and 3 of 4 on the one leg stand. The defendant attempted to bribe the officer to let him go until the officer informed the defendant of the consequences. DIC was read.
What was the bribe? Does it say?
It doesn't say, Your Honor.
We had one not too long ago. They charged him with felony bribery for the same thing. All right, go ahead.
DIC was read, breath was refused, and a warrant was executed and blood was drawn.
I zoned out. Why the stop? What was the stop?
It was 51 and.
Oh, that's right. You said that. Okay, I remember. All right, one more thing. Can you see, does he have any prior DWIs?
The only thing we found was disorderly conduct from Florida.
Okay. Does he have a valid license? Can you see?
He had a Florida driver's license, so I don't think we can even run that, but I can ask.
Mr. Renee, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. Where do you live now?
I live in Florida, Pompano Beach, Florida, Broward County.
So are you going back to Florida now?
Yes.
Yes, sir. He just got off the plane.
I just got off the plane. I had to go to.
He had a lot to deal with
I had a lot
yesterday,
to deal
canceled
with.
flights and different things. So it was a big mishap. I don't know if you heard about it, but he was able to make it here. He is going back to
Good
Florida.
job making it here.
Yes, thank you.
Now look, you have a lawyer. Good job. Because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance. Meaning you don't have to come to court every month to check in and stuff, but I am going to randomly test you. So if you're in Florida and you get called to take a drug test, you must go to a Quest Diagnostics, take a test and get it to Mr. Fleming and they will get it to us. You understand? I am ordering you not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I will randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or any kind of dope, I will revoke your bond, put you in jail. You understand?
That's your honor.
Okay. Do you have a valid Florida license?
Yes.
Do you have valid liability insurance in your name?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We're going to reset your case to give you time to fight the case. So for now, I'm going to have you go to Victoria, sign and reset. Your that, you'll get retraced for your bond conditions. And after that, you'll be free to go. Stay in contact with Mr. Fleming. If he tells me that you've gone AWOL and that you're playing games, not responding to phone calls or text messages, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. You will not get any more PR bonds from us. Do you understand, sir?
Yes, your honor.
Okay, guys. Good luck. Thank you, sir.
Right this way. All right, Judge, page 6, Ms. Harris, Gael, come on up.
What is that the lawyer? Look, he looks so nice. He's in court and he's dressed up for court. All right, innocent. I hope he's innocent.
Are you Gael Gutierrez? Mr. Gutierrez, you're charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. You are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Sure.
On July 12, 2024, officers in plainclothes unmarked vehicle observed a vehicle and followed it. After they observed the vehicle failed to complete a complete stop at an intersection and drive 55 and a 45 and changed lanes from lane 3 to lane 1 suddenly. Officers conducted a traffic stop and there was an AR-15 style pistol and the
AR-15.
in the backseat floorboard in plain view. The driver said he purchased the weapon for a private sale and he is 19 years old.
Mr. Gutierrez, no, sir. You are not allowed to have weapons. If I find that you have any more weapons, I'm going to put you in jail. I'm going to make your bond so high you're going to flip. No reason You understand, at 19 to have an AR-15.
I understand, sir.
Do you have a Texas driver license?
No, sir, not at the moment.
Things are not going well for you, Mr. Gutierrez. So help me, if I find that you become a public danger, I'm telling you now, I'm going to lose it. And if I lose it, you will be on the wrong end of that. Do not drive. You will be signing an affidavit with me today, promising you're not going to drive. I don't care what is going on in your life. You drive, I will have a contempt hearing. You'll be facing up to 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you drive. It is an offense in and of itself. So if you drive 5 times, I will have 5 different contempt hearings. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
That also goes for weapons as well.
Sure. Sounds good.
What do you do for a living?
I currently work at Chick-fil-A, sir, and I go to school at University of Houston downtown.
What are you studying?
I'm studying petroleum engineering, Your Honor.
You know what? I want to make sure that you're not using anything. I'm also ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, and I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're using any kind of alcohol or dope, likewise, I will put you in jail. Do you understand? If he's willing to do all this, something tells me that I'm now going to test you like crazy to make sure that you're not using. If you're going to school truly, because I don't know, you could be, peeing on my leg and tell me it's raining. I have no idea. Picking up criminal cases, it's not going to help you. You are digging a hole. The more criminal cases you pick up, the deeper hole you dig. And I'm going to tell you that employers don't like people with criminal convictions. They're not going to give them a job. You'll have a hard time getting an apartment. You want a school loan, FAFSA loan, not with a criminal conviction, you won't get it. So straighten up and fly right. Otherwise, you will be learning with me behind bars.
Yes, Your Honor, I understand.
All right. Thank you, Ed.
Thank
Good
you.
luck.
Eric, do you have an arraignment?
Hey, so Tracy, you got that right on Mr. Gutierrez?
Test today?
No. Hi. Do you have an arraignment? Okay.
Last name is Moore.
Okay. Mind bringing them up?
What's the last name? Moore. Judge, there was a co-defendant on this one, page 11. But is it that?
Yes.
Robert Moore, come up. And Victoria, who is the co-defendant?
Jones, but it wound up in felony court.
I think the last name is Owen.
Kevin Owens.
I saw that Jones on the information. Sorry,
You're not going to be happy with me after this is over with, Mr. Moore. I'm going to tell you that. You're laughing and smiling now. You now picked up. You picked up a new case while you're on bond. You now are charged with possession of marijuana. And as I can see, this is your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th marijuana case. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you, sir. Okay.
On July 13th, 2024, officers conducted a traffic stop at approximately 1:49 a.m. on a blue Charger parked on the side of the road with multiple individuals hanging around the vehicle. And the vehicle also drove off and failed to signal while making a right turn. The driver was ID'd as Robert Moore. The passenger was ID'd as Kevin Owens. Officers observed a strong odor of marijuana from the vehicle. A large bag was in the back seat containing multiple prepackaged marijuana baggies. Neither defendants claimed ownership of the baggies, and the total weight was 22.1 grams.
So what were they doing?
They were on the side of the road, hanging outside of the vehicle, and then they drove off and failed to signal while making a right turn.
Okay, so that's what led the cops led them to pull them over. Mr. Moore.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. What is the one thing I asked you not to do?
Catch another case.
What did you do?
Catch a case.
Guess what happens now? He goes with you. Sorry, man.
Your Honor, isn't it, can we approach the court right now asking for a bond?
Yeah, I mean, of course, I'm going to send him a bond.
And even in regards to, I know it's a couple of cause hearings, but I know they're saying that he made a right turn, we're still waiting for dash cam, but the biggest issue that they were saying was that the gas station he was at is a high crime area.
I don't care about that.
The thing was just him having people around the vehicle.
I mean, ultimately, they pull him over. He's slinging, you know what I mean? So I'm not happy. And it's his fifth weed case. It's over and over and over, and he's not getting it. So what do we do to get him to get it?
She's not going
You know,
anywhere.
I don't know.
And I will say, I know that there's been a gap in time. Like I think his last charge he had was from 2018, and then just had these recent two. And I think the biggest thing is just the company that he's keeping. And we talked about that before. I just was recently returned.
I get it. And so what we'll do is that once he gets out, we will try to, well, not try to, I'll make it a condition that he's not to hang around with any of the co-defendants or anything like that. And we'll see. Hopefully he can abide.
And I told the court will provide I know it said the defendant didn't take ownership, but the other defendant Owens has. And so I'm just waiting to get that from the court so that he was taking ownership of the drugs that were in the vehicle.
Okay.
So I'll get that to the court.
So what did he get? What did the co-defendant get charged with?
Possession of marijuana, 4 ounces to 5 pounds. It's in the 182nd.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess so what's going to happen is he'll pop back up on Monday's docket. I'm assuming he's going to bond out because I'm not making it super high. If he is still if he hasn't bonded out, he'll be here Monday morning. If not, he'll be here in a week and we'll probably see him next Friday. Yeah. Thanks. 5,001. Yeah.
5,001.
One. Yeah. On the UCW, please.
On the UCW.
Just on the UCW, correct. I will leave the first bond for the week kids. I'll leave it alone. Okay. Thanks. Sorry.
No problem. I understand. You do your job.
Judge, page 6. Henderson, come on up.
You Kenneth Henderson.
You can't say that to Australians.
Mr. Henderson, you're charged with failure to identify oneself. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present during questions and interviews. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir. Okay.
On July 11, 2024, officers were dispatched to an assault in progress call at a park. When they arrived, the two parties matching the description were already walking away. Officers approached the defendant, who provided his name, Kenan Henderson, 6206, date of birth. Officers were unable to get a hit and asked him to re-verify. The defendant stated,
Again, what's he doing wrong at the park?
There was an assault, Your Honor.
Oh, there was an assault.
There was an assault call in progress, and the defendant
Oh.
and the other party matched the description.
Got it. Okay.
Officers were unable to get a hit and asked him to re-verify. The defendant stated it was correct and that he was 18 and never had a TCID and a Texas ID and did not know his social security number. He got upset and stated he wasn't lying. The defendant gave his mother's phone number to verify, and she gave the true information. The defendant gave a false date of birth and concealed that he was 21 years old, dating a 16-year-old.
So the information he gave was just the wrong date of birth?
Correct.
What happened with the assault investigation? Was there an actual assault?
That's what they're dispatched to, Judge. I'll have to do some follow-up, but we didn't charge him with an assault or anybody else. from what I see.
And so you're saying that in the call for the assault, he matched the description?
That's correct, Judge. That's what's being alleged that it is.
All right. Mr. Henderson, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. So you're 18, correct? Or how, are you 19? How old are you?
21.
What do you do for a living? Nothing?
NRZ, with Andy Friend.
Did you graduate from high school? Why not?
Medical.
What grade did you make it to?
12.
I mean, you're almost there. Why didn't you follow through, man? You just dropped out on the last year. Why? It's time for you to go back. And I want to see you go back. And I'm now making that a condition of your bond that you and I together are going to try to get your GED. You cannot roll around life with, at the very minimum, a high school diploma. You will go nowhere. You will make pennies on the dollar for the rest of your life. This life is a journey, and it can be a great journey, or it could be an absolute miserable, rotten toilet of an existence. And I'm going to tell you, if you have no money, it's going to be a rotten life, because you need money for everything in life. And if you don't have money, you'll never get a car. You'll never go on a vacation. You want to get a wife one day? You want to keep that wife? If you ain't got no money, all you're going to do is fight. It's a miserable, rotten existence. And it starts with getting, at the minimum, your high school diploma. So I will give you a lawyer today. In 2 weeks, I want you back here to show me what you have done to start looking about getting into GED classes. I have the lawyer who has resources to also help you out so that we can give you money, we can give you computers, whatever you need. But it starts with you. Do you understand? I'm telling you, life sucks without money. It's really real. Everyone wants to see you fail. Everyone laughs when you fall down. Don't give them a reason. And it starts with your high school diploma. You understand? No smoking any dope. I'm going to test you. I will test you 31 days from today. If I see that you're smoking dope, then you will get your GED with me behind bars. Do you understand? Okay? I'm not asking for much. Make me proud. All right. Can you reach out to the MAC for him, and then we'll see him back in 2 weeks, see what he's done? Okay. Mr. Henderson, I'm going to have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. After that, I'm going to have you take a seat in the jury box while we start on all the paperwork for you.
Sorry, go ahead and sign. All right, Judge, the next one, there are 3 co-defendants. First first one is page 8, Jackson. Real. And then page 11, Odom, come on up. And then page 17, Thomas, come on up.
Gonzalez Jennifer.
Okay,
All right, Judge, page 8, Jackson. Page 11, Odom. Page 17, Thomas.
all of you are charged with possession of marijuana. You are facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you.
On July 11th, 2024, officers conducted a traffic stop on a vehicle for failing to come to a complete stop at a four-way intersection with all the traffic lights off. The driver quickly exited the vehicle and was detained and ID'd as defendant Alexis. Defendant Odom exited the passenger side and started walking away and was detained. The defendant Thomas got out of the back driver's side door, and defendant Jackson was in the back passenger side door. There was a Glock in the driver's side floorboard, unholstered, round in the chamber within arm span of defendant Alexis, who is 20. And defendant Odom had a backpack on, and it was open, and a baggie of marijuana was visible. 51 grams of marijuana was recovered, an electric scale, and a Glock was in Odom's backpack. Defendant Thomas had 7.23 grams of marijuana tucked in her bra. Defendant Jackson's purse smelled of marijuana, and 4.88 grams of marijuana was in the purse.
Who's the driver?
It says defendant Alexis, but
Defendant Alexis is in court at 3, Your Honor. For whatever reason.
So there's a fourth.
there's a four.
What's the cause number, please?
251 9367.
That's the earliest cause number.
So they may all know.
You can do that now?
I can, I'll take a seat after the council.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Here's the deal. You guys are all getting
Absolutely.
transferred to court 3 because they've got the lowest cause number. We're going to do the transfer order here momentarily. I'm going to sign it, and then we're going to send you all to court 3. So if you just mind just taking a seat over there, we'll be back with you momentarily. Do not leave, guys.
All right, Judge, page 9, Johnson. There's a co-defendant on this one, last name Williams. That one landed in court 3, but should come here.
What page was it?
Page 9.
Okay. Are you Patricia Johnson? Ms. Johnson, you're charged with possession of marijuana. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present during questions and interviews. If you cannot afford a lawyer will be appointed to represent you, ma'am.
On July 13th, 2024, officers received credible information from a concerned citizen that the co-defendant, a currently wanted person in Harris County, Texas for felony family assault, was inside a residence located at 710 West Bluff Drive in the garage portion of the residence. After opening the garage of the residence, officers observed the defendant lying in bed next to the co-defendant. As officers began to call the defendant and co-defendant out of the garage, officers observed several items of drug paraphernalia, such as used glass pipes and a white powdery substance wrapped in a clear plastic bag. Through further investigation, deputies observed 1.5 grams of marijuana located underneath the white powdery substance. And at the time of the incident, it was unclear what the substance was, but neither the defendant or co-defendant claimed ownership of the substance that had an approximate weight of 2 grams.
So how do you know it's hers?
It is so hard parenting a kid that's just in trouble all the time. It's hard parenting a kid, but when they're constantly in trouble and you have no tools left in your toolbox to do anything about it, and then a judge comes along and is like, just call me. You can just call me when you need me. Oh my gosh. That's awesome. That's amazing.
It's at the house, right?
Right, Your Honor.
Is it her house?
It's unclear whose house it was. It's
Patricia Johnson. Ms. Johnson, just take a seat for me in the jury box. I'll be back with you here momentarily. I need to do a deeper dive on your case. You can get your stuff. So Williams is upstairs though, right? Ma'am, take a seat for me at the jury box.
Is in court 3.
Oh, he got a weak case too.
You got, yes, yeah.
Okay.
And we had the lowest.
Ma'am, don't say anything, please.
If I had a nickel for every man who said that to me, I'd be rich. Rich, I tell you, rich. All right, guys, we did it. We were back to Fleischer. Hi, Warrior. And that was nice. It's been a while. It's been 2 whole days, which feels like way more. But he's not on today. Doctor, I hope you have a good day at work. Can you tell me about this rash? No, just kidding. Go to work, doctor. Michael, I hope you have a good day at work. Does Michael work? Doesn't work on Sundays. Nope, my coworker's not working today. Hi, Puppy Medic. Wait, what? Donald tried to steal Lacey from me today? No, Donald. No. Michael's off today. Monica, you have a great day too. Oh, Fletcher. Sorry. I wake up pretty early in the morning. They get here before me. Oh, Fozzie, just quit. Love you too, Cloud. See ya. All right, my eyes are heavy. Heavy. So I'm not going into Discord today because you're just going to hear me snoring. I hope you guys have a great Sunday, the last day of your weekend, the last day of my work week. Can't wait for tomorrow. I'm so excited. Thanks, Jay. Yes, Linus, oh, you said sage, and I read in my head, sabotage Fozzie. I'm like, yes, Linus. Thanks, Jelly Bean. Bye, guys. Guys, thank you so much for coming out. Mods, thank you so much. You guys are great. And all the new people in here, it's awesome. It really is. Thank you. I will talk to you. I got so much more. I will talk. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Behave, okay? Bye, guys.